I'm here with my good friend Jonny, who the day before yesterday ran his first 50-kilometer ultra. The furthest you'd run was 10 kilometers before that day. So this is going to be a bit of a short little chat about your experience, what it was like, learnings, takeaways, things of that sort. Um, yeah. So my first question for you is why? Why did you want to set out to do 50 kilometers given the furthest you'd ever run was 10 kilometers? Most people would think you're fucking insane and crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted a good challenge, and yeah, that was it. That was a challenge for sure. So yeah, just proving to myself that I'm capable of doing things like that, and yeah, just to see how it feels.
Did you actually think you'd finish it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The day before, and then not really doubted myself. Never actually. Never. The thought of quitting was not an option.
Okay. Why is that? Why were you so like determined and set on doing this thing?
Yeah, because you, I gave you my hand. We shook hands.
Yeah.
I said I'm gonna do it. I told other people I'm gonna do it, and yeah, I just repeated it myself. Finishing is the only option. That's what I repeated in my mind.
Yeah.
Only option.
Signing the contract with yourself or with somebody else is an extremely powerful thing when it comes to doing ultra marathons.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well,
Because
in my case.
yeah, yeah, making a promise to yourself and sticking to that promise is a powerful thing and something that I wish more people would do in this life, because there's so much talk, but we need more walk, we need more actual doing. So to give a little bit of context for the audience, so we started at 7 a.m. here in Costa Rica. The idea was to just grind it out until we hit the 50 kilometers. And we were very intentional with the terrain we were going through. We chose not to go up big fat mountains, which
Yeah.
is obviously a lot harder.
Right.
It adds a layer of complexity when you're in the mountains. So we were flat. We were on soft terrain most of the time, 80% of the time, which lightens the load on your joints. And we basically grinded for 9.5 hours it ended up being, right? Yeah. We took our time. We tried to fuel. I tried to, to stuff food down your throat, but Johnny's stomach and body was a bit
I just didn't want to eat.
uncomfortable. Yeah, you didn't want to touch food, which is
Yeah,
fair enough.
yeah.
It's a normal process.
Yeah.
What I want to ask you, what were your expectations for the run versus what actually happened?
My expectations were that it's way easier than it actually was. Yeah, I thought, because I never did anything like it, I had no clue how it is gonna be.
Yeah.
No clue at all. So my expectation was I can do it, and it's gonna be I never really thought much about it, honestly. Just the day before the run, I thought my body is in great shape and can do it, and then and how it turned out to be pretty exhausting, and my body it was low key on its limit in a way. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's interesting how you can push your body at a certain point, like the fastest 400 meters I did in the run was actually at the beach part at the end. That's what my Strava said.
Yeah.
So the fastest, I went the fastest after my body was already
40
done,
kilometers in.
right?
Yeah.
And it was so interesting like the mindset is just, you go no matter what your body tells you to do. That was interesting. That was an interesting moment.
How did that make you feel?
That made me feel very, very powerful in a way, just to be able to rule your mind or rule your body. Just not,
Yeah.
It was a nice feeling.
Yeah. The mind calls the shots, the body follows suit.
Right.
Basically. and ultra marathons are a great example of that. What was the most challenging or uncomfortable moment for you during the 50 kilometers?
I mean, after the run, the day yesterday, but it was not in the run, right? But
Yeah.
the day after, it's like, yeah. I mean,
What about during the run though?
during the run, phew. Yeah, I mean, I think around 20 miles because there's
20
a
miles or 20 kilometers?
20 kilometers.
20 kilometers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So because it's still a long time to go.
Yeah, not even
Yeah.
halfway yet.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was
Why? Like, what was happening in your
yeah. I
body
mean,
and
my
your mind?
body cramped.
Yeah.
So I mean, I didn't get cramps, but I was just short of a cramp all the time.
On the edge.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was not so nice. But I mean, yeah. And the run we did, it was just the same route all the time, like at the beginning in
Yeah.
the jungle route, the jungle grind.
Yeah. Yeah, we picked a 2 kilometer up and down section in the rainforest. So we were covered, we weren't exposed to the sun, which was a
Right.
big help. And we just
Right.
grinded up and down this beautiful little 2 kilometer rainforest
Right.
highway.
In the sun, it was not fun.
Yeah.
In
The
the sun,
sun
it was not
adds a layer of evil.
Right. That's not fun.
Physical evil.
Yeah.
What, like in that moment during the 20 kilometers when you felt like the cramps were coming, what were you thinking about? Like what kept you in the game? Was it
the walking felt quite good in comparison to the running. The walking felt amazing. So being able to walk, that calmed my mind because I just thought I can walk it out if necessary. Right, I don't have to run. I just have to keep going. That's the only thing I thought. So I was very comfortable in walking and just accepting that I maybe won't be able to run.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something that I'm really trying to get out there in the world, is that to do an ultra marathon, you don't need to be like crazy fit or have the capacity to run, 80+% of a 50 kilometers. You can run for 10% of it and walk 90% of it and still confidently say I've tackled an ultra marathon. And that is something that I want to bring to the masses and the everyday amateur athlete, because it's a beautiful experience to go through a whole day process of getting to know yourself and having the inner dialogue and observing that and having to troubleshoot and overcome obstacle after obstacle, ride the highs and the lows. So walking is a huge, huge component. And we did that yesterday. It was like we walked for what, maybe my guess would be around like 30-ish kilometers, 30, 35 kilometers of the 50 kilometers, I'd say we walked.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the one thing that helped a lot was electrolytes, actually, because after taking them, I didn't want to take them, but after taking them, my body started, the cramps were better.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, that's why I could run at the end again. So, I think with good preparation, with good electrolytes, balance and stuff,
Yeah.
I would have been maybe able to run further.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just pushed myself. That's the only thing, I pushed.
Yeah. Having a proper nutrition and hydration strategy is unbelievably important. You were very stubborn as well. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it just
there were many points during the day where I was like, Jonny, you need to eat. Like, you look like a ghost. You look like a zombie. And he was like, no, I can't physically eat. And then he said a funny thing at one point. Well, I found it funny at the time. I want to suffer. Do you remember that? You said, I want to suffer. And I was like, fuck, okay, here we go. You're going to suffer.
Yeah.
And you suffered.
Yeah.
Like,
but yeah.
Not fueling and hydrating properly has a big, big toll on the body, and it makes things significantly more uncomfortable versus like constantly topping up your energy stores and hydrating properly. Did anything unexpected happen? Something that like you didn't expect, that you weren't prepared for during the day?
Yeah, I didn't think I didn't think 50 is that long. You know what I mean? We run for it was an eternity.
Yeah. I remember you saying the day before, you're like, let's do it in 6 hours. We'll try and do it in 6 hours.
Yeah, I was not, yeah, saying.
Pure naivety, yeah.
Yeah.
So the duration.
Mm-hmm.
The
The
duration.
duration was pretty, yeah. I don't know, my brain shut off. I got stupid, you know what I mean? I don't know. I didn't remember how often we went to the market.
Yeah.
We always went to the market to refuel, like 3 times. At one point, I didn't even know how many times we already were at the market. It was quite weird.
Yeah.
And everything was like very different.
Yeah.
And my legs felt so different than usual. Like, whoa, what's going on with my legs?
Describe the sensation in your legs.
Yeah, I wouldn't say, it's like completely trashed in a way. Or just, I can't even, like, very, like the most insane leg gym session ever.
Like crazy DOMs.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. But you're able to keep moving, which is very impressive. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. The beach helped that too. And I mean, Costa Rica is a beautiful. I mean, there were moments where it was really fun, you know, at the beginning where I didn't have pain.
Yeah.
It's just running with a friend, and it's just beautiful, you know. I was very in the moment, very present. The first 15 or 10 was so amazing. I felt truly alive.
Yeah.
But then there's this point in time where your body is like in pain.
Yeah.
And then you obviously want to stop. Well, you would want to stop if you didn't sign a contract.
Yeah.
But there's no option of stopping, so yeah, you have to suffer. Or not suffer, you have pain. Suffering is in the mind, right? That's what you also said, and that's a true thing. You don't necessarily suffer, you just have pain, and then you have to keep going with the pain, and that can lead to suffering, but if your mind is in the right space, then you won't suffer. Then you just keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have a strong enough why, you're going to be able to do it, basically.
Right.
How did you feel when we hit the 50 and it was like, you're done? You've completed your first ultra marathon.
Not so much. Not too much. Not
No?
too much. I was just, I look forward to going to the ocean.
Yeah.
But it was, there were low-key a moment where I was like proud of myself that I did it.
Yeah.
But it was not like insanely proud. I don't know. It was, of course I was happy that it was over finally. But I just wanted home. I wasn't necessarily in a good headspace. Yeah.
Why's that?
I don't know. For me, I mean, low-key, my mind is like, oh, that's another good time. And I mean, finishing was the only option anyway. So doing it, there were no doubts of me doing it, But it was harder than I expected. I was happy that it was over.
Were you relieved?
Yeah, I mean,
Was it like a
I
sigh of
wouldn't want
relief?
to walk any further. So of course I was relieved that's finally done.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end I asked you the last 500 meters, how many meters? So,
You kept on asking me over and over.
right. I mean, it's in the last 500, right? Yeah.
Do you think you would have been able to, had you signed a contract with me or with yourself the day before of getting to 100 kilometers?
100?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Double of what we did. What do you think would have happened?
So I don't think I could have done it.
No?
I don't know. It depends if my mental preparation is better or my. Yeah, I think I'm capable of doing it, but not. Maybe some preparation, taking electrolytes, drinking more water. I drank like 1 liter a day.
Yeah, you stopped drinking at like 15 or 20 kilometers in.
But the last 2 weeks before the run, I drank like 2 liters a day.
Yeah.
So I don't drink much water. I don't take any electrolytes, nothing.
Yeah.
maybe if I prepare myself for the run, then I'm able to do 100. I mean, you can keep on walking, and the pain is, yeah, it's possible as long as you don't cramp up.
Yeah.
You can keep on walking.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Yesterday I wouldn't have been able to do the 100, but it may have been different if I signed the contract. I don't
Yeah.
know. The mind is a powerful thing.
Yeah.
Not just the belief you can do it and everything, right?
I think you would have been able to do it. We would have walked it out and done it in. So we did 50K in 9.5 hours with a little bit of running. So we probably could have done 100K in under 24 hours. You just needed to have like a strong reason to do it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. What did the experience teach you anything about yourself?
Yeah, that I don't like running 50K. That I don't enjoy it.
You'd never do it ever again.
I mean, yeah, I don't plan to do it again.
Yeah.
No. I mean, yeah, just, yeah. I don't know. So yeah, just keeping your mind in a positive space helps a lot. That's
Yeah.
what I learned. I knew that before, but it's just applying the wisdom and
Putting it into practice.
right.
Yeah.
Just reaffirming myself. It's gonna be. I'm feeling like my body is in great shape. I'm feeling fine. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
So that's really made an impact. Just to stay in a positive space.
Yeah. I think also something I'm really big on is reminding yourself, like in the moment that you're suffering, if you can zoom out and remind yourself that you will not be suffering like that forever.
Right.
Like that can be really like a beneficial thing of like things will get better. Like you're not always going to be in this valley of feeling like a piece of shit. Like you will get to feeling somewhat decent. And like that's, if you can ride that roller coaster of ultra marathons, you'll succeed because you don't get so aggressively attached to these ephemeral emotions and physical sensations. Yeah. Yeah. What would you say to someone? What would you say to someone who thinks 50 kilometers is impossible?
Mm-hmm.
Like I get DMs all the time on Instagram of like, I would love to do 50 Ks, and then they put their limiting belief in, but XYZ, but XYZ, and they look to me for guidance, and I'm like, you need to reread your message like 50 times to understand what's going on. Like,
yeah. I mean, what would I say if they think it's not possible?
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely possible for basically everybody, honestly. It's just a matter of are you willing to do the work or not? That's the only thing. So, if you want to do it, as you said, if your why is strong enough, there's nothing stopping you because you just keep on walking, keep on moving. So it's possible. That's just excuses if you say you can't do it. I mean, yeah. I mean, just what would I say? I just would say you're capable of great things. You can do so much more than what you think you can do. So yeah, trust yourself. That's what I would say to the person.
nice. I love it. Is there anything else you want to mention or include that I haven't asked, or anything you want to ask me? Anything that comes to mind?
Yeah, I would say without Giles, I probably wouldn't have been able to do it if he wasn't there. He supported me so much, and he knew exactly what I had to do. The way he led it was so, I felt always safe, always in good hands, and I can't think of anyone doing it better than him, and I'm very grateful you were there. And I mean, the day after I didn't enjoy, but looking back now, it was definitely one of a beautiful experience, just to push yourself and just to see what you're capable of doing. So and as I said, without you, it wouldn't be possible. If I would have tried it alone, I would have quit. Because no, I probably would have quit.
Yeah, for me as a coach, and also like we've been living together for the past like 3 or 4 weeks, so we've become like close friends. So just to be your friend, but also a coach, and to guide you through that process and see and like excuse me, and ride the wave with you, like that's something that is like really fills me with joy and like fire in my being. So it's amazing to like support other people and see their process, and everybody's different. Like I did it with Josh like 6 weeks ago, and he described it as an ayahuasca experience, like going from 10K to 50K. And you're describing it in a completely different way today, going from 10K to 50K. And this is something that I want to bring to more people because it has the power to transform a lot of people's lives. And the limiting beliefs behind why you can't do it, that is stopping you from meeting a superior version of yourself and really instilling deep confidence and self-belief in your life. The beautiful thing about ultramarathons, it's a physical modality that when harnessed properly becomes a spiritual and emotional modality. You get to tap into versions of yourself and a part of a really raw part of your soul that allows you to become, to bring your, a better version of yourself into the world. Because when you're able to overcome challenging, like big fat obstacles during ultra marathons, your ability to overcome that then trickles over into other areas of your life. When shit
Right.
gets hard in other areas, whether it be financial, like family stuff, all sorts of things, like you have that new instilled power from the ultra marathon to direct that energy and that self-confidence into that. And that's a really, really beautiful thing that I'm doing my best to bring to the world. So yeah, deeply, deeply grateful to have spent the day alongside you and see you achieve your 50 kilometers. Like it's an incredible thing that not a lot of people get to do in this life. And yeah, it was really special for me. And I think as a concluding message, if Jonny can run 50 kilometers, going from 10 kilometers and virtually no training, like he's a strong, healthy, fit guy, obviously. If he can do that, then you probably can too. So yeah, just food for thought, and deeply appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate you too, brother.